been trying to record this video for the last hour, okay? So I just want to tell you all about the books, the romance novels that I would never stop recommending, but it's not letting me record it. So if this makes it, we will see. This is the last take, so it's gonna have to work. Now, first up, we have Kandi Ryan. Is this recording? Okay. We have Kandi Ryan, the Queen. Now, the Skyland series, I absolutely love it. Book 3 comes out next year. The first one, Before I Let Go. This is one of the first books that got me back into reading after a long hiatus. I love the story between Yasmin and Josiah. Love them together. This is a second chance romance. They were married, then they got divorced. Now they're finding themselves, trying to heal, and I love the themes in this book. It's so good. Then we have This Could Be Yes. This Could Be Yes is the second book of the series. It goes, it follows Soledad's story. She was married to Edward, and Edward just dragged this woman through the mud. Okay, he's done everything that you can think of that is wrong. He's done it. Okay, he's not a good person. And Soledad is just trying to find herself again. She's trying to love herself again. Such a beautiful love story. And the friendships in this between Soledad, Yasmin, but especially Soledad and Hendrix, it made me cry. I love it. I can't wait for Hendrix's story to come out next year. My list wouldn't be complete without this book, A Love Letter to Whiskey. If you want to cry and scream and throw up, you need to read this book. This book is full of angst. This follows Jamie and B. They have been in love with each other for the last 10 years, but it's just never the right timing, and it makes you angry. Okay, so this is such a good book. I love it. Their love is just so deep, and it really makes you feel all the feels in this book. I loved it. I was so obsessed with this book when I read it. The last line of this book is just the perfect way to end it. Like, she did this beautifully. I love this book. Next, we have Book Lovers. If you want to laugh and cry at the same time, this is definitely for you. This is a rom-com. This is my first dabble in a rom-com, and I went and bought a bunch more Emily Henry books after this one because it was so good. Now, this follows Nora and Charlie. Now, Nora and Charlie, they are two people who work in the same book industry, and they had a meeting, hated each other. 2 years later, run into each other in a small town. I love the little like play on cliches because, you know, the whole book lovers and small town trope and all that stuff. So good. The banter in this is hilarious. I love it. And then I did cry a little bit at the end, but it wasn't because of the romance. It was because of the sister relationship between Libby and Nora. So good. Next, we have A Love Song for Ricki Wilde. This is such a unique love story. I was not expecting a little fantasy twist in there. I really wasn't. But I love the look between like 1920s and 30s Harlem, New York, and then present day Harlem, New York. I also relate to Ricki because she is like the black sheep of the family that went totally against the grain from what her family wanted her to do and what her sisters are doing. And she found her own way to success, and I love that for her. Ezra is just, I loved his character. So classic. Okay, classic man is what I would describe him as. But this was so good. Very unique story. And Miss Della, I did get a little misty-eyed for her at the end. And then we have Queen Move. I feel like this book is not talked about enough. This is the third book in the Kingsman series. Kimba, she is finding her way to love after spending her whole adult life focusing on her career. This has showed us that it is possible for women to have a successful career and to find love. They try to tell us we can't have it all. Kimba showed us that we can have it all. Love that. Next, we have Love in Other Words. This was a good one as well. This one, I feel like it's not talked about as much, but it's a second chance romance. They were like high school sweethearts or whatever, you want, like teenage lovers, right? Their first love, and then they don't see each other for like 10 years after something happens. You don't really know what happens until the very end. It's a little bit of a twist there, so it's really good. It shows the past and the present. Such a cute little love story there. And then last but not least, we have The Wish. If you want to boo-hoo cry, like sob until you can't sob anymore, this book is for you. As you know, it's Nicholas Sparks, so what do you expect? If you've seen any of his movies, you know you're going to be crying. Okay, Maggie, she has cancer. And then she meets this young man. In the book, she's telling this young man the story of her first love. So it goes between the past and the present. It's so good, man. I was not expecting to cry. Yes, you will be able to kind of predict what's happening towards the end. But regardless, even with the predictability, it still made me bawl my eyes out. So yes, highly recommend.